Welcome to Liberty Tonight, the only pro-liberty late-night variety show. Hosted by Brian Piotr and starring King Libertarian. Special guests, hilarious commentary, skits, gags, and more fun are just ahead. And here's Brian.
Fiery Waco, welcome to Liberty Tonight. Thank you so much for joining. We're excited. Unlike the Wall Street Journal, who's saying that Elon Musk is getting fired and just lying to the public, we actually are here to entertain you. And I have no auspices of lying to you, but if I was going to lie to you, I wouldn't make up something that would be easily fact-checked. I'd say something as confusing as possible and just try to gaslight you and be like, no, that wasn't a Coors Light I was drinking, that was a Diet Coke. Anyways, welcome to Liberty Tonight. I'm your host, Brian Piotr, and I'm here to entertain, to make you laugh, to give you the news, and provide you with an alternative to dancing cartoon vaccines. Not that you don't want one, but you're going to get one either way. And as we do every Thursday night, 10 p.m., when we go live, we find out what we're supposed to believe and what we're supposed to think. We get our weekly brain washed from the king of all libertarians. So please, lift up your chalice and hear from the king, the one and only the king of libertarians.
Hear ye, I'm King Libertarian, benevolent dictator of libertarianism, slayer of statists, hater of bureaucrats, lover of Doge, and all-around badass monarch. Now silence, peasants, your king is speaking. This week marks the first 100 days of Trump's second term. There were ups, there were downs, but never without a lot of laughs. Mike Waltz is out as the National Security Advisor. While no official reason was given, it likely stemmed from the Signalgate scandal, in which his staff added a journo to the chat. The news is so evil and fake, it would have been less damaging to the country if they had added Putin himself. But hey, when I first heard of the secret Signal chat, I thought for sure somebody was busted sending dick pics to Tulsi Gabbards. Thank you. Speaking of dicks and Tulsi Gabbard, Fauci is squarely in her sights over gain-of-function research and the COVID pandemic. Since he received a pardon from Biden, his only punishment that he can receive is being locked inside the Keebler elf tree for the rest of his life. And speaking of demonic elves, Zelensky has finally signed the minerals deal with the United States. This marks a significant step towards the end of the war in Ukraine and paying back the hundreds of billions of dollars laundered through Ukraine. You tried to screw over America. Now you're going to deliver your family jewels on a platter and ask us if we want seconds. Nobody messes with America. Not anyone. We're so back, baby. The king has spoken. Now back to Squire Brian.
Oh yeah, baby.
Let's go.
Such a good music video. 10 out of 10, I can approve this message.
Let's go.
Drop the bass.
Just drop a couple grand on ammo and equipment. Hopefully the investment pays off in YouTube land, which I believe these boys will be quite successful.
Oh man, what a great night. What a beautiful summer is here. AP is taking his friends around DC. That means several of you probably won't be watching tonight. So it's really important that if you are here, that I'm here to say I'm thankful for you. Message your friends, tell them to watch. This is going to be a very intimate setting tonight with the majority of the For Liberty Network out and about. Seeing the cherry, is it too late for the cherry blossoms? I don't actually know.
No, it's right on time.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm sure they're having a grand old time. I hope that they're having a little bit too much to drink and staying out a little bit too late and just being wonderful libertarians, which we know they can be. King, what do we got planned for this evening?
Yes, yes, we have. We're going to go through headlines here, as we do always in the show, and then we have a correspondent live down at the scene of one of our stories coming up, and then we're going to hit top ten moments of Trump's first 100 days in office. We got Conspiracy Corner, where that's jam packed with all of the RFK news and everything else coming out. Be or not be. And then we'll round up the show with some Culture Couch and America Beautiful. And if we get to it, some liberal freakouts. That's the lineup for tonight.
Nelson,
a lot of great segments lined up for you.
Nelson 65 wants to know where my suit is. Hey, I'm trying out something new. I think this looks very nice. I see it in the mirror and I think, man, that man looks sharp. But what do you think? Do I need to have the 3-piece suit on? Do I need to have the monkey suit? Is that the correct outfit? Let me know.
This is what
Nelson.
people have grown accustomed to. What if I showed up completely nude to this podcast? Do you think people would have questions? Would they ask where my crown and
as a libertarian, I don't even think that anyone would be surprised. I think that is exactly on brand. Now, if you had shown up, like what would be the least libertarian thing? I guess, really everything goes. You could cross dress, you could wear a suit. Everything in between is libertarian. You could tell me your name is Starchild, for instance, and we'd all just believe it.
The most non-way of being dressed as libertarian is if you have other people's tax dollars just glued onto you in a bodysuit. But yeah,
actually, you know what the least libertarian? Some of the least libertarian ideas I can think of for uniforms would be nurse scrubs. Maybe a doctor's scrubs. Not a lot of doctors can be told what to get through the system and become a doctor and stay libertarian. Hard to do. It's obviously been done. There's plenty of, you can go find me the what about examples, but I feel like 25 years of school and lots of standardized testing does not equal free at heart,
When you were saying uniforms that aren't libertarian, like I was thinking like
cops,
Nazi uniform, the SS officers, Mao's and Hillary's pantsuit. That's where my mind was going. But yeah, Nelson 65 demands that you dress appropriately for your king. I will give him 12 lashings.
We are just a few rumple rants away from me running upstairs and putting on a tuxedo. So please pull out those credit cards if you want to see that happen.
He's too poor to dress nicely.
I will shamelessly dress up for you. Instead of ripping stuff off for clothes, I'll go put on a tux. Is that really the world that we live in? Now, speaking of the least libertarian dress up, here are some people that have been fired from the FBI. The Fibbies.
Yes.
Look at these people kneeling and wearing masks. They no longer work for the feds. And this is great.
This is very symbolic. These are the guys that were probably on the J6 task forces, right? They were probably trying to kick out down doors of Granny, who took an unscheduled tour on January 6th. This guy, man.
Don't. Did the king freeze, or is he, guys?
Am I here?
I hear you.
Can you see me?
Yeah, your video. Try turning cycling it off and on. We're here for you.
Oh my gosh.
It's off and it's on. Okay.
All right.
Dude,
but you can still hear my audio.
Zoom.
Nelson, fiery, help.
Zoom.
All right.
Guys, Zoom sucks.
Anyways,
I need an alternative.
These guys were a bunch of somethings or others.
Yeah.
The FBI.
The Fibbies.
So, yes, the Fibbies. These guys, it's interesting. I wonder, it's not just kneeling for this cause, right? There must have been something else that they were all also involved in. Like this was an initiation probably into a far left wing cult of the FBI that these people get shunted into, the ones that also protect the pedophiles, like they were all swept up. They didn't fire all these people for this specific reason. They were in a club inside the FBI that loved to just stomp on the nuts of America. That's my theory
I think that's
here.
the whole FBI. They just love to stomp on the nuts of America. They're here. That's what they're there for. Nelson, I just raised the King's audio a little bit. Let me know. Hey, Nelson, Waco, either you guys in DC? You guys joining us from DC this week, or are you just doing the normal from home? We should have gone, but anyways, Louisville has this thing going on this weekend called the Kentucky Derby, which is pretty exciting. I'm thinking I should get a giant hat.
Yes.
Giant hat, maybe like a pink tuxedo, and go interview some man on the street stuff, guys. What do you think?
Do
Would
it.
that be pretty fun?
Do it. Do we want to chat? Do we want to see Brian go in a giant bucket hat and do man on the street at the Kentucky Derby? Let us know. Will it be better than King on the Beach? I don't know. I guess if you like large farm animals, or if you like to lounge on the beach with a pina colada, you choose.
¿Por qué no los dos, man? Let's do both. Cinco de Mayo's coming up. Let's do both. So
yeah, Fiery and Nelson, they're at home.
So in another headline, a man has figured out the right get out of jail free card.
And John, the government wanted Owen McIntyre to spend the time before trial behind bars, but the judge in Boston sided with the defense in this case, which cited multiple medical issues facing the 19-year-old, including autism spectrum
What's with
disorder,
this guy's voice, by the way, the reporter?
And ADHD.
Yeah,
McIntyre's attorney argued
there's no way this is his normal voice. He's putting on an act, but it's a weird act.
Or would not be provided while in federal detention.
It's the cadence.
The defense filing says McIntyre is being treated
does he have a
and
voice
since
coach
March
for
has been
this?
receiving gender-affirming care.
Yeah, they all try to
care
talk
would
like that.
likely be
He is getting gender-affirming care. I went to Juilliard, and now I am reading the news.
So a person who's on powerful synthetic hormones goes and commits an act of terrorism,
unconnected to those hormones, unconnected for sure,
and clearly off or on their meds or whatever the case may be. You're giving a man estrogen, and then he flips out and does this, and you still want to continue this? Like, and our tax dollars are paying for that. And he gets to probably be in the woman's wing and have a baby with a female inmate.
Our system, I believe it's which amendment is it that talks about having too much, or like not setting bail too high? I forget. But I think there's also a postscript that says like, and if you think you're the opposite sex, no bail. You just, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. I know you'll come back. You'll come back for trial. Don't worry.
Yeah, get that free treatment.
Hey, you old lady that went for a hike on the Capitol on Jan 6th, that'll be $5 million, or you can't leave.
Yeah. Firewaco says, "Flip out, woman would never do that." Yeah, I mean, I guess we now know, right? Yeah, when they get that injection of an estrogen. Like, what happened to you? Oh, all right. Don't burn down any Tesla dealerships. It'll be okay. So I'll get you some chocolate and some.
I see there's just a couple of you here. I really appreciate you. We would be doing this to ourselves, or just doing a show for ourselves if it wasn't for you. Thank you for coming here. If you have one friend that you could text to invite, please do. Let's double the numbers. Let's get those numbers up. It's going to be a one-on-one invite list. That's how we're going to get them here. That's how we're going to make some new friends who love liberty and hate communism. Which, by the way, so there's this Congress wannabe woman named Valentina Gomez. She's run for Congress like 3 times in a row. That's my guess. I don't remember. She's lost every time. She's in Texas. But what she is really, really good at is going viral.
Yeah.
She has managed to go like #1 on the internet multiple times. And here's a video with 13.3 million views, and it's it's theater. Like what she did is just a beautiful theater hijacking
Yeah.
and like Alex Stein also does this, just like creating theater out of nothing, like a city council meeting. So let's just take one short minute to watch this.
Islam is the religion of rape, incest, and pedophilia, where they bow down to a stupid rock and a false prophet. I will never let you kill lots of
Like they're just having their little event, and she's like, "Oh, I know what I can do with this."
Wow.
Like I'm not sure that that's
Yeah.
gonna get her elected, but that was genius for getting viral. Like, well done for
Well, she
being viral.
wasn't she the one that she was racking guns and telling people not to be fags or something like that? Or,
Yeah.
yeah. It was. She was like marching or running with a weapon.
Shock
yeah,
theater, shock viral videos. She's actually really good at this, or whoever that helped her come up with these ideas and has her do them. Her boyfriend, her handler, her campaign
13
manager.
million views.
They're
13
really
million
smart.
views.
Like this isn't like she's done this once. She's done this a dozen plus times where she's had a viral video, a viral moment. Will
Yeah.
she win an election doing this? We'll see.
No,
We'll see.
absolutely not.
We'll
She's
see.
never going to be elected to anything. While she's entertaining, she is fucking crazy. You can tell.
Well,
no,
as a
no.
libertarian, I support absolutely crazy going to Congress, right? I support us all disrespecting Congress a lot more than we currently do. Let's get that approval rating down to 1%, right?
Yeah, can you imagine her, Nancy Mace, and what's her name, MTG together? Like,
Yeah.
talk
And
about
Lauren-
some crazy mix with crazy.
And Lauren Boebert.
Yeah, but whoa, yeah. I mean, let's take them all to the theater. We'll have a good time.
She's probably going, yell at me, guys. Throw something at me.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's.
Is that such a genius thing for virality? Now, what's the ROI on that virality? I don't know. Not gonna be elected, but like, what's she gonna do? She could do something with it, right? If the Hawk
Right.
Tuah girl can do a
I mean,
rug
she's
pull,
gonna get paid.
yeah, the Hawk Tuah girl can do a rug pull and get paid. This girl can get paid somehow. You know,
Yeah, like
she's eventually she's gonna hawk some kind of product and then cash out. She's not there yet. Now,
yeah.
I see on her profile that she was a D1 swimmer. I too was a D1 swimmer. Basically same as
That
her.
explains a lot.
MBA.
And isn't she a millionaire too? Like,
Could be.
I thought I saw too. She's got nothing to worry about. She owes nothing to anybody. So
Dude,
that also helps
makes
to
me,
have
if,
FU money.
you know, she's an MBA and she may be well off, adds up to like, okay, maybe she's just making a good video, and then what is she doing to make it viral? Like,
I can't say she's not smart.
is she spending money to make it viral? Right?
I don't know. At this point, that's the thing too. If you run for Congress, even if you have no chance, even if you know you're going to get primaried, you were still a candidate, so that automatically draws attention to you. And then yeah, she pulled some crazy shit off the bat. She was like, "All right, I'm running for Congress, and by the way, shut up, fags!" Like, whoa, lady.
Because
like, she's pretty, you know.
If you make a good video that should go viral, you can spend $5,000 to get it viewed, and then more chances that people are actually going to share it, right? Like,
right.
You could probably get a lot of views for $5,000, and X may not show that it's an ad if you don't want it to be an ad because you're not selling a product.
Ryan, we have more than doubled our viewership. As thank you, everyone watching. If you shared this video while Austin and most of the regular audience is in DC right now with him, yes, you could have toured DC with Austin Peterson. But if you're snug as a bug in a rug in your home, That's great too. Yeah, keep sending it out for all the new folks that come in. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share here. Come in the chat, say hi, and if you really love us, drop us a Rumble rant, a couple bucks. It's like tipping your pianist, pianist at the bar or anything like that, where you're here for your entertainment. Pay tribute to your king.
Thank you so much for paying tribute to the king. All taxes go straight to the wealth fund, the sovereign wealth fund, where you spend this very inappropriately, right? Every
Yes,
Rumble
absolutely.
rant.
I mean, yeah, I blow it like any good king would. How many golden toilets can you have? Well, I need to have more than Trump does, and he's got a lot. So that costs a lot of money that I'm going to force from you as fealty to me. So pay tribute to your king, give out a Rumble rant, subscribe to the channel.
Well, I do want to thank everyone who's been subscribing to our coffee. This has been very
Yes.
popular. People are getting monthly supplies of their whiskey barrel aged coffee. Thank you so much. I just want to say, forlibertyshop.com, search Liberty Tonight, find our coffee, listen to our music, go party.
Let's go.
And if you were curious what our friend Kamala was up to.
In fact, please allow me, friends, to digress for a moment. Okay. It's kind of
Please
dark in
don't.
here, but I'm asking for a show of hands. Who saw that video from a couple of weeks ago? The one of the elephants at the San Diego Zoo during the earthquake?
Oh my God.
Google it if you've not seen it. So that scene has been on my mind. Everybody's asking me what you've been thinking about these days. Well,
That.
Now, this is just a reminder.
She's a child mentally. That was a completely genuine moment by her. She saw that video on the internet on a reel or something.
She's sharing
on
it with
TikTok,
us. She's sharing
and
it with
she
us.
has been obsessed with it ever since. She was for real. She thinks about it all day, every day, and that's the only thing that occupies her small, tiny peanut brain. And we almost had that as president. It was more shriveled than Biden's.
I mean, she
Would've
wouldn't have
been a
been
complete
president.
puppet.
Some auto pen would have been president for her as well.
Yes.
Fiery Waco sent us $5 and said, "I'm not going near that pianist. I never know where it's been." Aw, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Fiery.
Thank you so much.
Woo!
Man, I just know that money is going to be wasted so well by the king.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will. It will.
And you just saved some peasant some taxes. So much appreciated. Okay, so there is something really creepy going on in the deepfakes, and that's next. That is, I think we're running into this part of history where you will never trust what you see on your phone. Like, is this my mom talking to me on WhatsApp? Is this AI? Is this an Indian scammer trying to see the bobs?
Where's the vagine?
Hold your breath and count
Yeah,
to
this.
10. Feel
Check
the
this out,
earth
dude.
move and then
Like, you're just gonna be able to
Down
pick
June.
whoever you want and have your fake face.
Probably didn't, like, yeah, and the fact he shines the light. There's Elon Musk.
for this is
Although he looks kind of weird, but still.
So
Like
when
like a
Elon
young,
Musk
old
calls
Elon Musk.
when this dude calls you up and says, "I'm in love with you, but I need $5,000 to get there from Africa,"
Oh yeah.
you got to know that that's legit, and you need to send the Bitcoin immediately, and
Yeah.
not question it because it's obviously real.
Yeah, how could you, like, we're gonna get to a point to where if somebody calls you, video calls you, you're gonna have like a secret question that only you and them know.
That's only gonna work for a moment. AI is gonna be so smart they're gonna know. Like, have you ever talked about that secret question around your phones, around a Google home somewhere else?
You gotta do a dead drop with pencil and paper. All right, I'm gonna leave it underneath the mailbox in front of the grocery store is going to be stuck to a piece of gum. Get it between the hours of 5 and 7 on the 9th.
It's going to be
just
more
to talk to your grandma.
It's going to be more like, I'm going to be happy to talk to your grandma, but we aren't going to exchange any info. How's the weather? Oh, that's nice. How's your kitty cat? That's nice. Okay, bye now. That's
yeah. How are we gonna communicate with our loved ones in this digital age?
And you're gonna come over. You're gonna come over to my house,
Pigeon?
King. Yeah, or I'm gonna go visit your palace, and we're gonna put our phones in the Faraday cage, and then we're gonna walk into the Faraday cage to have a conversation. And we're gonna
have
have
those little things like from V for Vendetta. You just flip it up, and it somehow creates some kind of bubble. But yeah, no, pigeon, or maybe a series of vacuum tubes like at the bank. That could work. Yeah. That's what the intelligence agencies do now. Like, they go back to the old manual methods. Like, it's the only thing that's secure, face to face. And even then, like, you think that the AI is bad. You seen Mission Impossible in the late 90s. They were depicting realistic masks and voice changers. You think they just made that up? No,
yeah, seriously.
They had that. So even face to face, you don't even know who it is.
Fiery Waco's mentioning the cone of silence.
Yeah,
for sure. That's going to be a necessary thing. And then Nelson65 saying that he's AI. This whole time, that's why he hasn't been giving us rump rants. He's just AI.
I don't technically have any physical body, so can't really send you money. You can find it in the bank.
You know who
just
who
take
else?
1 billion times. Just take a one billionth of a cent from everybody's bank accounts and give it to us.
Like, we got
Nobody
this.
will ever know.
We got the King. We got video of people who haven't bought anything at the Ford Liberty shop. They've made a big SOS.
All right. So
they're in the Texas holding facility, and it's been confirmed that none of these people have bought the whiskey barrel aged coffee.
That's why you got to get deported. If you're gonna be in this country, you got to support the citizens. And so apparently this was like, say here is a Texas holding facility. Actually, we have a reporter on the field there at the facility. Busty Nuggets, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hi, dog. I'm here down here in South Texas, looking at the prison full of people saying SOS. That's what I can't confirm to you, Alex.
All right, Busty Nuggets. Thank you so much. What's number 2 questions for you? What is the attitude and what's the sentiment there on the ground with guards and other inmates? Is this causing a disturbance? And 2, since they are a Latin American gang, what does SOS mean in their language?
I do not know what it means in their language, but I hear AC/DC playing on repeat, and there's some people without sleeves smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. And they got shotguns across their laps, and they seem to be pretty happy. Pretty happy.
All right. Well, the Trump administration says that these guys are terrorists, but they seem like they're the ones being captured here and held prisoner. Have you talked to any one of these inmates, and what do they want to say to the world here?
I have not been able to do so because there's quite a smell.
Oh,
and a river between us. And so I've been sitting in the shade just kind of watching, and everybody seems to be all right. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have any last words from us there at the site before we head off?
I'd like to cover a news story in Hawaii next. Can you find something breaking over there? Just an idea.
Busty.
Put that in the suggestion box.
Yeah, we'll get right on that, Busty.
South Texas is hot.
Okay,
nice.
Busty.
I'm not.
All right, Busty.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, thank you, King Alex. I hope I can meet you someday. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Okay, Busty. Jeez. All right. Goodbye. All right. That was Busty Nuggets there on the scene in South Texas. And our last story of the night for headlines. Thank you so much for joining us. We are Liberty Tonight, where freedom never sleeps. We're on every Thursday, 9 to 11 Central, here on the For Liberty Network. ForLibertyNetwork.com or ForLibertyShop.com is where you can find our store and our locals page. But we're also on X, at King Libertarian, at Brian Piotr, at AP for Liberty. We are part of a network. Every morning, 7 to 9 Central, it is Wake Up America with the infamous Austin Peterson every week morning. And then we have Tuesdays and Thursdays Culturama with Daniela. And then we are on after her 9 to 11 Central every Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are going to go here in a second into top 10, and then we'll get into some conspiracy corner. Be or not be's coming up here towards the halfway mark of the show. And we'll do some culture couch, America the Beautiful, and liberal freakouts. Thank you so much for joining us. Pay tribute to your king. We have tripled our numbers here in the show. So we are filling in on our regular audience that's in DC with Austin Peterson. If you're new here, if you're just coming in, give right below here, give the Liberty Tonight show follow, and then move over again a little bit, like, repost, come in the chat, say hello, and if you love us, pay tribute to your king, drop a rumble rant. Fiery Rico says the king and Squire Brian are doing heavy lifting while Riff Raff whoop it up in the Capitol like a bunch of lobbyists. Absolutely. You took the words right out of my mouth. But we're making it strong here, so if you're already watching, send the link to a friend. If you're on X right now, formerly known as Twitter, come on over to rumble.com/Liberty Tonight. Click on that live stream that we're doing live right now. We're at 13. Keep coming. All right. And we have top 10. Roll it, Brian.
Liberty Tonight. Top 10 list.
Okay. Welcome back to the top 10. Tonight's top 10 list will be written while sitting on a golden toilet at Mar-a-Lago. Top 10 moments of Trump's first 100 days in office.
Woo! Top 10 moments, first 100 days. Oh.
What are the top 10 things that we have found? Okay, number 10. Trump took DEI behind the woodshed and hit it like it was Old Yeller.
You got to put it down. He's got the tism. You got to put him down. There's no recovering from this.
He's got the
Do I
tism.
have to, Paul? Yeah, and put that 22 right behind his ears and take him out.
I'm
All
sorry.
right. Top 10 moments of the first 100 days. Number 9, borders nearly completely sealed. Biden said it couldn't be done, but Trump said you just needed a new president. How right he was. That was number
And we
9.
got one. All you had to do was enforce the existing law. What about that? Number 8. Sorry, let me know if that hurt your ears. Deporting gangbangers to El Salvador. Haven't seen Democrats defend criminals this hard since Pelosi called MS-13 God's children.
He said that.
Nelson
You wonder why they're
65.
fighting so
Oh my
hard.
goodness. He sent a rumble rant. Nelson is a real man. He's a real boy. Thank you, Nelson.
Yes.
No, Kamala is number 1. Number 2, no tampons in the men's room. Okay. Yeah. And no tampon Tim. No tampon Tim in the White House. What a wonderful thing that's been all on its own.
We'll add that as honorary mentions to the top 10. That's number 11 and 12. No Kamala and no tampons in the men's room. All right. Are you on number 8, Brian? Oh, no. Number 7.
You're up.
Number 7. Pardoning J6 political prisoners. Granny can finally return home from her unscheduled tour of the Capitol. Welcome home, Granny. You were pardoned by the president.
I hope it was nice. You know, it is your Capitol building, Granny. Okay, number 6. Banned men from competing in women's sports. Liberals can't stand it when a man can't beat up a woman. They really can't. They fought so hard for the right of men to beat up women. And I don't know why they did, but they did.
Yeah, what is it about this savior thing only to trap them into your victimhood? It's a bizarre thing to do to somebody. But they're the
Yeah,
masters
so
of it.
if you can't get women through the glass ceiling, you got to send men down in below the glass ceiling to beat up all the women. It's some
Yeah.
kind of philosophy along those lines.
I don't know. All right. Top 10 moments of Trump's first 100 days. Number 5, paused almost all foreign aid except to Israel, but we're not allowed to talk about that.
I don't know why I hit
Why?
applause. We
Wonder
really
why.
aren't allowed to talk about that.
No.
Oh, I've just been handed a letter from attorney. We would like to redact the country that we commented on previously and no longer will mention.
Yes. APAC has
Thank you.
paid us a visit.
Oh, okay. Yep. We're back on the air, guys. Okay. Number 4, withdrew from the WHO and Paris Climate Accords.
Woo!
I like this
Climate
one.
change isn't real. Climate change isn't
I like
real.
this button a lot.
Global health isn't real. Stop putting live polio vaccines into children in Africa and they won't get polio. That's
I
the only
just
WHO we
want
need.
some graft. Just a little
Did you
bit
know-
of graft. Please.
Did you know whatever his name is that leads it killed his own people with a disease? He purposely did not treat the cholera and thousands of them died. He did that. And he's the leader of WHO.
I mean,
that's
the highest paid person in the US government killed a bunch of people with AIDS and then killed a bunch of people with COVID shots. That's the world that we had. So please give me
Yeah.
some justice. Who needs to do something to get me some justice? I mean,
well, we're going to talk about that here in a second in Conspiracy Corner. Don't
Yeah.
you worry, because it's
I want some
coming.
justice. I want some
It's
justice.
coming. All right. Top 10 moments of his first 100 days. Number 3, fired thousands
Liberty Tonight.
of employees and dismantled U.S. aid and U.S. Education Department. Woo! Like, that alone is just...
We have
wow.
fired thousands of feds. Every single one of those firings could have been on this top 10, but together they were just amazing. The fact that we have
Yes.
fired
Yes.
so many dummies. I mean, how many got fired just because they didn't reply to the email? Yes. Like, wasn't that was one of the filters, right? You just have to reply to the email.
I would love to know the result of that. Like, I never heard the ending of that. Did they? Yeah, I'm assuming everyone that didn't reply was just gonna take the package anyways, and then everyone else pussed out. I'm gonna guess that most people talk shit, and then they were like, "Yeah, I like this cushy
but I would
work job,
look,
so I'm gonna."
If you know somebody who was fishing in the Andes and never replied to the email because they had no idea that they were supposed to do this, please let me get them on the show. I want to meet the guy who was like, yeah, I had a check going for 25 years and I didn't realize that one day there was an email that I was supposed to reply to because I was fishing. Like, that guy exists. There's probably 5 people like that.
They did say that they did find like thousands of
Fakes.
like, payroll accounts that they had no record of whether they actually exist or not, or are still living. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there's so many people like that. They're probably like hanging out on their plantation in Tanzania, and they just happen to get a check every month from the US government because they were smart about their fraud, and they were just hanging out. Like, there's that for sure happened.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, freeing Ross Ulbricht. This is all we were promised. And it was delivered in the first few days. And Ross Ulbricht, who operated an online store and nothing more, and was in jail, unjustifiably so, he's been released and pardoned. So he can go back to creating a website, selling stuff online if that's what he wants to do. And I really hope, I want to hear him come on a podcast and talk about getting his Bitcoin back.
He's coming.
Because he had billions of dollars in Bitcoin
Yeah, he's
taken
like
from him from the
3 or
U.S.
4
government.
billion worth now, something like that.
And
Yeah.
I want his Bitcoin returned to him.
Well, he was, and I think that's why Trump ended up pardoning him instead of giving him clemency. So he essentially what Trump did is said you were never convicted in the first place on paper. Like we wiped the conviction. That's why the difference in clemency is like, okay, you were convicted, you were guilty, and you had a punishment that I'm getting rid of now. But pardoning him all the way said the conviction is no longer there either. He's not a felon. Whereas people who got clemency, they're still felons, but they're out of jail early. So I think he paved the way to maybe make this happen.
And they need to give that Bitcoin back to him, even if they have to purchase.
Crazy.
Even if they have to purchase it on the open market to give it to him. Like, stolen property needs to be returned.
Yeah.
How you lost it sounds like your problem. You need to return it. And that's very unlibertarian of me to say that you would need to purchase it on the open market, but like seriously, like that is not your property.
And then what if he takes that money and then like we had his back this entire time and then he like funds some like good shit.
Yeah.
With
The odds, I'd rather have Ross Ulbricht have that money than whatever you were going to do with it, Feds. Whatever you were going to blow it on, some stupid Ukraine money, Israel money, Tanzanian money. I'd rather have Ross Ulbricht have it for sure.
All right. The number one top 10 moment of the first 100 days of Trump is he renamed it to the Gulf of America. That's the top 10 moments of the
Gulf of
America.
America.
Thank you so much. Whoop.
Shirts and towels at forlibertyshop.com. You want to look hot? You want to look super hot this week? This week at the Gulf Coast? You got to go to forlibertyshop.com and get yourself hooked up with some American stuff, not Gulf of Mexico.
Gulf, not golf.
Gulf. Okay.
Yeah, Conspiracy Corner coming up.
I'm looking for the cutscene. We don't have a cutscene yet, guys. Here's my cutscene.
July 8, 1979, all the fathers of Nobel Prize winners were rounded up by United Nations military units, all right? And actually forced at gunpoint to give semen samples in little plastic jars, which are now stored below Rockefeller Center underneath the ice skating rink. Wouldn't want to be there for the thaw.
This is the intro to the movie Conspiracy Theory.
I mean, it's disgusting. You know what they put in the water, don't you? Fluoride. Yeah, fluoride. On the pretext that it strengthens your teeth. That's ridiculous. You know what this stuff does to you? It actually weakens your will. Takes away the capacity for free and creative thought and makes you a slave to the state. So you ever wonder about all these militia groups, survivalist type kooks from the right-wing side? They say that they're defending the country from the UN troops. These guys are yelling so loud. My theory is, and this is a conspiracy, pal, that they are the UN troops and that they're in place. The infrastructure's ready.
Mel Gibson's been right.
When the time comes, they'll just take over. We'll all
Mel
be
Gibson's been
Oswald,
based his whole
Oswald,
life.
that's what I said, Oswald. He said, I'm just a patsy, and that means that he didn't do it, right? I mean, George Bush knew what he was saying when he said New World Order. Remember those three little words, New World Order? Well, he was a 33rd degree Mason, you know, and as ex-director of the CIA.
This does not sound as funny as it once did.
The chip for identification so they can track down an animal anywhere he's at. You'll insert it under the dog's skin, and it's kind of like an identification thing. I mean, it's only a small, logical step till they start putting it in us and our children. And then, before we know it, my God, they'll probably come with the pretext. Oh, sure, yeah. Hey, is that one of those new hundreds? You know, where they changed the picture of Ben Franklin? Look at him. Yeah. He looks like the love child of Fred Mertz and Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, get rid of him as soon as you can, lady. Look at it up to the light. You see the metal strip in it? That's...
Oh, man, Mel. You were so based. For so long. Nelson65 says you will obey and give the king a rumble rant.
and yeah, it gives a. It makes you wonder the conspiracy theory around the movie Conspiracy Theory. Like, how did he rattle off all this stuff in the late '90s? How did they know to make it into a movie about a conspiracy theory?
Do you guys need
if there
to?
were conspiracy theories to begin with.
I need to let everybody in on something. All of the filters suck at removing fluoride. Basically, you're not going to get a home filter that removes fluoride, including a Berkey. Like, nothing removes the fluoride. Is too small of a chemical once it's in the water. Sorry.
RO.
Reverse osmosis is not going to do it. So you're going to need something like a distillery to boil the water and separate the fluoride. So,
all right,
sorry.
well,
you're stuck drinking. It's going to make you, what did Mel say? Make you compliant, make you weak.
Yes.
Easy to control.
But it cuts it down at least, right?
I don't think so. I think you're kind of screwed.
Okay.
Now, distilled water may be the way to do it. Yeah. This is Conspiracy Corner. Let's go crazy, guys. I feel like...
It's like lithium in the water. It makes you compliant.
This one. This is Conspiracy Corner, guys.
That's right. We got a bunch of conspiracies. RFK dropped a couple this week.
Joe Rogan had a physicist on to talk about aliens, and it was actually really interesting. Very serious about remote viewing, which is using people to like have ESP to see things on other parts of the world, and the CIA is using people to do it. And then we've got about 10 crafts. Aliens are here. I'm just trying not to die of EMF and blue light and poison and mold and all this stuff, and you're throwing aliens into it. Like, I can't handle it.
You're getting dusted with microbots from the chemtrails, the EMF, or shaking your DNA. The fluoride is making the frogs gay. You got propaganda on the TV and the military industrial complex, and there's poison in the food and the water and the air, and you can't touch anything. We're getting bisphenol A on your hands. It's an estrogen mimicker that messes with your hormones. And then you got the New World Order plotting terrorist attacks across the world to destabilize things, and they're Machiavellian, and the
going on a weave.
Yes.
Going on a weave.
It's all to deindustrialize. It's all to dumb you down,
from the
to sterilize you for depopulation. The George Guidestones were right. That's their plan.
What are your
the population down to 500 million? That's manageable by the globalist
Thank you
elite.
for watching Liberty Tonight. What is your favorite conspiracy theory? Did we make the list? Do you have something that we said on your favorite list? What are your least favorite conspiracy theory? Obey and serve, says Nelson65. Yes, obey the king and serve the king of libertarianism. We are here to provide freedom, and you will not get that freedom unless you serve us. I think this is the logical fallacy that we force upon you here at Liberty Tonight. Now, we have someone who's in charge of the HHS named Robert F. Kennedy Jr.,
the libertarian.
Yeah, lifetime libertarian, card carrying member, came to the convention and everything.
Cool guy.
Biggest concern
What's he saying?
The stratospheric aerosol injections that are continuously peppered on us every day. Bromium, aluminum, strontium, it's sprayed in our skies all day long. And I know you've talked to Dane Wigington about this. He seems to be one of the experts in the field.
Is there a question?
Yes. How do we stop it?
That is not happening in my agency. You know, we don't do that. It's done, we think, by DARPA. And a lot of it now is coming out of the jet fuel.
Yes,
so, you know, those materials are put in jet fuel. I'm going to do everything in my power to stop it. We're bringing on somebody who's going to think only about that, find out who's doing it, and holding them accountable.
Yes, sir.
My name is Emily, and
there's a lot to unpack here, Brian. So, number one, it exists. which we knew it. Like it's fairly public, especially now after the UK basically said they would do it. But for a long time, it was hidden in plain view. Two, it's DARPA, so it's the Defense Department, the Advanced Weapons and Testing Facility. And three, yeah, I don't remember what the third point was, but he acknowledged it. It's happening, and it's for some kind of nefarious purpose. This is crazy that this is happening at this speed and at this clip.
I still don't know what to make
I think it's
about
a
it.
major revelation that is not getting enough attention.
I do not know what to make about it. I want it to stop.
Oh, it's in the jet fuel. That was the third point. It's in the jet fuel. So there's always a question about how it's getting disseminated. Is it mixed into the jet fuel? Are there separate sprayers? Blah blah whatever. Yeah, and I looked this up. Like, I looked up, could there be vulnerabilities in the fuel supply chain? And they were saying that, or no. What I asked Grok was, has anyone ever tested jet fuel? Like, gone unprompted somewhere, got jet fuel and tested it? They said there's record of one study that have done that, and they didn't find anything. But it said it's not military jet fuel. That jet fuel actually is in a completely other supply chain, and like it's not subject to any type of public testing whatsoever. So they could be getting it in through the military supply chain, which makes sense because you want all your supply chains to be secure in some way, meaning the military controls them and nobody else has any access to it. So they could easily mix things into this once they get it from the supplier. Like they're probably doing whatever they want to it, including maybe adding these chemicals. But yeah, like I understand the concept of contrails, and sometimes they don't have any contrails at all, or sometimes they do, and they fade out like over time. But then there's the ones that look like contrails, but then they stick and then they spread and they make a cloud. They make like a high altitude, whatever. I can't remember what the stratosphere, whether that type of cloud is, but like you can see that it's like blocking the sun with a very thin layer.
No, absolutely, I do not believe that everything, everywhere, every plane that they're doing this, like that they're putting chemicals in it. But I would believe that there's a program of like doing it over storms to move a storm, or doing it over the skies in Texas to test emissivity to block sunlight, or like running a test. But there's no way they're putting these chemicals in all over the entire world or all over the entire country. I just cannot make this leap of faith, because like, why? I still don't understand why. Like, give me a purpose, and then I get like, DARPA doesn't just do things for the sake of doing things. Why are they doing it? What is their purpose? Are they trying to adjust weather? Are they trying to block sunlight? Like the UK said they are. Like, give me a purpose, and then maybe I'll follow you and say like they're doing something stupid for some reason. Because
that's global depopulation, man. That's the only thing that makes sense. That's why is it in all the plans, and why do all the top politicians and thought leaders and environmentalists, they all say, Bill Gates, what's the formula for carbon? It's our consumption times our population. Well, you got to get one of those numbers down. They all giggle about it in their little scientific meetings and their little world economic meetings and all these kind of things.
So
it was on the damn Georgia Guidestones, for Christ's sake.
Okay,
Like,
but DARPA is a defense agency of the United States, right? So we're not getting this into the jet fuel in China and Russia and our adversaries, right? They're not. We haven't gotten consensus globally to kill ourselves. So,
right.
So if DARPA's doing it and they're doing it all over the United States so that we kill ourselves, that's not really good for the defense of the United States, because the rest of the world's not doing this.
Right.
So I just don't know. I don't believe in like a massive U.S. depopulation from above. Like I got 4 kids. I've had no problems making kids. Right. So like I think the AI girlfriends are more effective at stopping people from having kids. Just move along that way.
This, I think, is the hidden nature of it. it is a soft touch. It's a soft kill. It's meant to move the margins, just like the COVID vaccine, just like all these other things. Like the amount of fluoride they put in the water. It's just a percentage here, 0.5% there, and then they ratchet it up over time, because also too, you gotta, like, they don't want to completely destroy the planet and make it unlivable for themselves. They want to slowly manage the decline of civilization and the population, get it down, and then be able to ease back up on it, not to just ruin the whole planet for that. It's the whole point. They want the planet for themselves. So they put it on smooth and do it gradually so nobody notices. You also don't mess up the whole planet in the process and burn everything up. But it's a multi-100-year plan that they have going. The Agenda 20, Agenda 2030, Agenda 2050. Like, I don't know. I think that's why, because they're just playing with the margins.
You gotta protect your own family and have as many babies as possible. You on board with this plan? This is the plan.
We'll just conclude there.
Yeah. Moving on to the next item in the conspiracy corner. That is Anthony Fauci going to jail.
Hopefully, yeah. So Tulsi Gabbard said that they're looking into directly those ties. I thought I put the video in here, but she's basically talking to somebody about the gain of function, tracing where the money went, seeing that through Eco Health Alliance and through Peter Daszak, that money was funneled out of NIAID and NIH into the Wuhan Institute of Virology, where they had Dr. Xi Jinping, the Bat Lady, as she was known, half a mile or two away from the cave where supposedly this strain of coronavirus has come from, and a couple of miles from the wet market where this supposedly was broken out by somebody eating a pangolin. Yeah. A 5-year-old could see the plot holes in this story. So the fact that she's one having to do it means that they were covering it up. It's just like with the border. All you have to do is look and do something about it. They were actively ignoring it or covering it up.
You know what really bothers me is people in this administration tweeting stuff and then doing nothing when it comes to arresting people, charging people. Hey, Pam, I know you got lots of stuff to do, and you got the Epstein files just sitting there on your desk ready to go, and they're coming. And I know that we could do something about Fauci. And Trump said, the pardons were auto-penned, and so they're no good. Well, let's do something about it. Come on, guys.
I know.
Please.
Come on.
Please.
Oh.
Do you need a muscle man? I'll hold the handcuffs. I'll pop him over a desk and put some handcuffs on him.
Me and Brian will take shifts, 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week, watching their cell. We will be their reverse bodyguard. Will be the guard that makes sure their body's in there forever.
I won't take a nap, and the cameras won't break. It's going to be great. They're going to work out.
Fauci had $13 million a year in Secret Service protection because he is a tiny troll, evil man who knows that at any moment, everyone's going to figure out what he did, and they're going to want to hurt him. But don't hurt a single hair on that troll's head. I want him to be safe and sound, locked away in his little Keebler elf tree tower for the rest of his life.
You remember when that little man was knocking on doors in front of the TV, and this black lady answered? He goes, "Would you like a vaccine?" She goes, "Hell no."
And then the black guy came out. He was like, "Nah, man, nah. You guys got this out in 9 months. This takes 10 years to get through." He's like, we blew up the old system, not with the emergency use authorization. We don't need no testing. This is an emergency. Get it in your arm, little black man. Yeah, no. He saw right through it. And that's the thing with the black community is, like, they got that Tuskegee, man. And then the syphilis trials and all that kind. They know the government comes knocking, wanting to put something in your arm.
What was the Tuskegee experiment, sire? What happened? What did the U.S. government do to people?
They purposely gave them, or
without their knowledge,
gave them, or they came in with syphilis, didn't tell them they had it, and just let them live just to see what would happen.
Yeah,
Even
no,
though,
it's worse
you
than
know,
it's worse. It's so they purposefully gave people syphilis so that they could watch the reactions. People who were healthy and did not have syphilis were given syphilis by the government so that they could be studied. Bunch of black Tuskegee airmen in the, I'm going to guess the Army Air Corps. We did that to them. Just, let's go give syphilis to these black men. We need someone to look at to see, what happens. But the U.S. government did that.
yeah,
This isn't we're in conspiracy corner, but that really happened.
didn't they also like in Chicago spray them with chemicals for a while? And in Philadelphia, didn't they like drop hand grenades into a black neighborhood?
Like, there's no
like, they were
end to
just-
the evil things the U.S. government has done, and just like giving people like, what was it? They captured people and they gave them LSD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the Alex Jones who knows all the details. It has all the
Fauci
facts.
did this to Elon Musk. Fauci almost killed Elon Musk, and here's the proof right here. He acknowledges he's said it before. He's mentioned this before, but he's never gone into this amount of detail. Reportedly his brother Kimball Musk also got super sick with it. It's a wonder this
MK
guy
Ultra,
can
look it
have
up.
kids anymore.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. COVID itself was nothing. J&J hurt my arm, but otherwise nothing. RMNA booster hurt extremely hard. Massive chest pain. Felt like I got hit by a truck. Almost went to the hospital. That said, synthetic mRNA has a lot of potential to cure cancer and other diseases. People have been saying mRNA has had potential for forever. So it still has potential, but it hasn't done anything yet other than kill people.
In the form that it was given, it was a Trojan horse. It was a code to create spike protein. Not only just spike protein, the HIV spike protein that's got a giant horn on it that slams into your cells and then injects its genetic material within and then makes those cells start to produce more of it. It is a true viral replication, and it could have other nanoparticles within it, like carbon tubules, and they can create these artificial structures. And they may have been pulling these clots out from people's veins and all this kind of stuff. Most of the stuff that we see has the potential to be clean and good, and I think that the elites have clean and good versions of all these things. They Trojan horse everything. Do you have to have the types of adjuvants that they added to vaccines to have an adjuvantic effect? I understand you have to stimulate the immune system, but you have to put lead or mercury in there to have an adjuvant. Like, this is crazy. It's wild. So people are figuring out, and that's how the Lord works in mysterious ways. That's what ended up one of the things Musk woke up to. Like him, his brother, a bunch of his engineers at Tesla and SpaceX got super sick, and he got that booster because he went to China. I remember Musk went to China to try to sell in his electric cars. They made him get it before he could come into the country, and he almost bit the dust there.
Guys, I'm still here. My camera just said that it was too hot, and so my camera turned off.
Just put me in the frame with the stories, and let's just keep going.
I'm gonna change over to my USB camera.
Let's do it. Just run the Terrence Howard clip real quick. Terrence Howard says that
I heard about what got him killed.
Oh, I think we all know generally what got him killed, but what's your theory?
The night before, he had signed an executive order ordering that the Federal Reserve would no longer be printing the dollars, that the U.S. government will now print the dollars.
The Federal Reserve is the U.S. government.
Federal Reserve is a separate entity
of the U.S. government. It's
but
still
it's
part
a
of the U.S.
separate thing.
It has less congressional control, correct, than cabinet positions or any other department. Yes, That's for a good reason. You don't want you don't want to politicize.
You're a
Funny
pothead
enough,
comedian. You don't have to
Trump's doing that
hell you're
now.
talking about.
No, what I heard, what I've researched and found, it was comparable to what happened to Abraham Lincoln. He wanted to do the same thing, start printing money
Base Terrence
himself
Howard.
instead of having a Federal Reserve, because this was the problem with the Fed. If the Fed say Congress need $20 billion, the Feds print, okay, they get the order, they print up the $20 billion. They never print up the interest, because there's interest on that $20 billion that they just did. They've never printed up enough money to pay the interest, so they were always going to be in debt. So I heard that Lincoln, and I would love
Someone's read Ron Paul's book.
that Lincoln had ordered.
And the Fed by Ron Paul. What a great book.
In the Fed.
And the Fed.
And the Fed. And the Fed. Yeah, so Terrence Howard apparently has stumbled across something that libertarians obviously have known for a long time. But he also has some wacky theories about a lot of things, so, you know, that's Terrence Howard for you. But not really a conspiracy, like you said before.
One of the
The conspiracy is people believing that the Fed controls interest rates and keeps the economy humming along.
Yeah.
That there's 13 dudes in a suit that get together and vote on what the right price for money is, and that because of those guys, we all live in a world that is just so kumbaya with we're matching inflation and GDP growth and aiming for 2%, and we're burning a little bit hot. It's like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, and we're gonna go back down, and we're just looking for an average of 2% across a long period of time that's not defined. Whatever the period of time is that allows me to say that I'm right, that is the right period of time that we're gonna judge. Yeah. The most important price in the economy, what's that? Oh, it's voted on by a bunch of dudes that in a private bank, and we don't have any control over it. Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, great plan. Lasted 100 years. Allowed us to fund 2 world wars. Otherwise, wouldn't have been able to do it. Real MVP, world wars. 100 million plus dead because of the Fed. They did it. They made it happen. Couldn't have done it without them.
Good job, Fed.
Good job, Fed.
It's he at the end there he gets the whole point of it is that to pay every dollar that they print for us comes with interest, but to pay that interest back we have to have more dollars. Woodrow Wilson, I think, regretted signing that, and you should be regretful.
Before or after the stroke?
Did he get Fetterman? And then he was like, "Oh, I can't.
I got more of my
the left side of my face is paralyzed, and also I shouldn't have signed that bill." Yeah.
The first woman president, Mrs. Woodrow Wilson. Yeah. Hey.
The second female president, Jill Biden.
If I can't improve my background a little bit, man, this is great. I have a backup camera going. Brian's too sexy for his camera. Nelson 65. Yeah, my camera was like, whew, I've got the vapors.
Well, you're in your new studio, right? So
I'm in my new studio. Yeah, I need to get a fan or something blowing right on that camera.
You're out in your barn, aren't you?
Man, it's a hot day today. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. We'll get it fixed. Always something. Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Gareth. That's how I'm just saying the last synonym syllable.
Sedan's growth.
It's beautiful. Y'all, you guys are beautiful, incredible. Hey, do you guys remember Jane Goodall? She was the monkey lady that looked old 30 years ago. Well, she's still the monkey lady that still looks old, and it's 2025.
Holy shit, you're old.
One of the candidates here in the United States for the election will take place in November is Donald Trump, who has said at various times that global warming is a complete hoax being propagated by the Chinese for reasons that he doesn't explain. And also that global warming, on the other hand, isn't so bad because we'll have more beachfront property. What do you think the proper response is to someone who so cynically minimizes the crisis?
Well, somebody who said what you just said to me, I would say, yes, there'll be more beachfront property, but the old beachfront property will be gone because of rising sea levels. So it doesn't make any sense. And you can't be a climate change denier because we have the hurricanes, we have the floods, we have the fires, we have melting ice, we have sea level rise, islands are disappearing. And, you know, then some people say, oh, yes, but that's a cycle of nature. So I said, well, suppose it is a cycle of nature. Shouldn't we get together with our intellect and try and do something to protect our children for the future?
Sure,
Like
the dinosaurs from extinct was a cycle of nature.
That right there, she's in on the New World Order. She's one of their mercenaries, and right there at the end, that is the truth, is that there is natural cycles. We are going into a more hot period, which on this planet historically is actually some of the best periods because you have more growth, you have more sunlight, you have more heat, you like the vegetation explodes. But she said it right there. If it is truly a cycle, you use your intellect, technology, you use these experimental things to stop it from happening. She's a sly one, but yeah. So we have floods, we have hurricanes, we have fires. Yeah, we always have. We have melting ice, we have sea level rise.
No, not true. Not true.
No, we don't.
Not true. Back actually, just a few years ago, there was no death and there was no war and there weren't too many people and it was beautiful and people lived to be 1,000. And yeah, there was a great flood. And then after that, then the Nephilim were dead, and here we are. That's the story. She's a Bible scholar.
Right.
She's a Bible scholar.
This is
guys.
Conspiracy Corner, so.
Oh, you're right. No true stories, only fake stories. So
Christian Conspiracy Corner, hosted by Brian Piotr, devout Christian, slayer of non-believers and atheists.
So here's the deal, folks. Probably don't want to live in Phoenix. If it's 120 now and you're having water issues now, don't do Phoenix.
I never understood people that move out there or like Tucson. Like you're fed by one canal that's coming all the way down from the Colorado River. If for some reason that's disrupted or sucked up for some way, you are screwed. That population should not be there. The natural environment cannot sustain it. Same with Vegas.
Yeah,
they're lucky that Lake Mead filled back up. They are lucky.
But I think at the very least, if you've got enough gas, you can get out of there. Probably. I don't know.
Right. I mean,
do you have enough gas?
Walk out of there or get out of there. But like as far as living there,
yeah, having $1 million house. Yeah, you're putting a lot of effort into something that
worthless.
Could be gone.
Because one bad earthquake, one mudslide, one terrorist attack, and your $1 million home in Tucson or Phoenix is worth zero.
Oh man, just talk about glass houses and the guy throwing rocks is like you living in Florida. You get $1 million house that gets wiped off the map any day of the year. Just like, well, I guess hurricane season isn't all year long, but at least you have plenty of water in Florida.
That's right.
You have plenty of water.
That's right. Come down to the Gulf of America.
In Phoenix,
Florida, to my kingdom.
In Phoenix, you are always only 3 days away from dying. That's the problem with the desert. You're very close to death at any time, and you just don't know it.
The people will eat the scorpions and the snakes. It'll be like North Korea, but for desert animals, no more bearded lizards. They'll all be eaten. You'll be in a desert North Korea within a couple of days.
Yeah,
get out of there,
and we should
go to the place where you belong.
We should seriously consider invading Canada because if the world's getting warmer, we might actually want some of that land.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn unreasonably cold there most of the
Greenland, too.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Greenland and Canada might be useful. But actually, there's actually oh man, I'm gonna tism as quick as I can.
We're going on a
I'm gonna go as fast as I can here, guys.
Going to weave.
The Norse, the people of Norway, inhabited Greenland for several hundred years, like 200 to 300 years, where they had cows and sheep and built houses and lived there for centuries. They sent taxes back to the King of Norway, and they farmed, like they went and killed walruses and seals, and that, you know, the ivory from the walruses made them rich. They made it a couple hundred years, and then it was, oh boy, a real cold couple of winters, and that was the end. It's just like
we're going back.
Generation. No, like no one went back. Like I think it was a slow trickle out, but then no one came for several years, and they sent a boat to go find them, and everybody was gone. So
yeah,
cold is a problem. Cold is a big deal.
Warmer.
Yeah, warm is nice unless you're in Phoenix. Cold, it's an issue. And
anyone who wants to cool the planet wants most life on it to die.
yeah, we had couple hundred years of inhabiting Greenland, and then it was wiped out in just a few years of cold, not a few years of warm. It wasn't the sea level rise that wiped everybody out that tried to live there. Now, I bet it was pretty unpleasant to live there the whole 200 years that we had people living there, but they did it. They made it work. It was like it's like, what a lot in life where you're in Greenland. Ugh.
See, Don Garoth says, I will worry about sea levels when the elites quit buying beachfront property. Absolutely. Fire Waco. I hear global warming will be good for some people. Yeah. For people that, like I said, like that warm weather. We got one more story in Conspiracy Corner, then we're going to do Be or Not Be, our participation sport for the night. What's up with old Zucky?
It's to where it starts.
What's he doing on that island that he bought?
Really?
Yeah.
In
Well, I have
USA?
this ranch in Kauai, where there's this whole thing where people were like, there's this whole meme about how people were saying I built this like bunker underground. It's
I
like
love
more
how
of
he uses the word
underground
ranch.
storage
Bring
type
it up.
situation. But
yeah, they'll
no, it's,
show a picture.
It's,
oh, wow.
He's like, oh, I just put a tunnel in
Zucky
there.
got that
No.
bunky. What's under the ground? Just more water, right?
it's basically what you just said. It's sort of a tunnel that just goes to.
Yeah, he tries to
another
like
building.
downplay it, but then he has a
But
freaking movie theater
It's
down
a good
there.
place to hide a little bit of dope, though. That's what I would say, dude. How big is that tunnel? Is your tunnel pretty big, or what's it like?
It's not that big of a tunnel.
Yeah.
It's I made I put a reel on Instagram one day of Priscilla kind of
Are
making
you
fun
kidding
of
me,
me
bro?
playing video games with some friends down there. But it's
He's got a
it's all
full theater down there.
Um,
Can you imagine what else
yeah,
he got
it's
down
def-
there? Oh yeah, no, not a big deal. I just have
It's not so big.
apocalyptic cave that I can survive any scenario in. Just built it just for fun. You know,
I'm
just
gonna
to
use
have
the
it,
word.
whatever.
I'm gonna use the word ranch here because I'm branding this as like it's a nice little house that I I've got some cows and it's beautiful. Guys, this is like the biggest landowner on Kauai. He's put in some billions into this.
He was once the richest man on earth. He's
Yes.
still among the richest men on earth. If you had unlimited resources as far as money, and you were a guy and you were that guy,
yeah.
and you could do anything, this is what you would do. This is what I would do. I would go to Kauai. I would have at least one of my homes there. It is isolated. It is outside of any jet stream of any possible nuclear catastrophe.
It's super nice.
It's super nice
all
You
year
have-
round.
There's, I assume, there's tropical fruits, and you could. There's no problem if you never had to leave the island, right? And yes, build like that's where a lot of elite are in these doomsday scenarios. Like that's one of the places that geographically is a high probability of success. Same with New Zealand. That's why a lot of elite
And
are in New
hey,
Zealand as
let me
well.
just take a moment and sell out and say, Zuck, I will be nothing but positive for you on this show ever if I can just get a quick invite for a weekend to come see that small ranch of yours. Just a quick visit to your
since we're still in,
ranch,
yeah.
and I will just do the most crazy nice PR for you for the rest of time on the show. Deal? Sound like a nice deal? I know you don't need it, but hey, it's just it's your ranch. It's no big deal, right?
He's saying like, oh, like what the hell, why not? Like it wasn't what the hell, why not? Because I have it, like, you know, just to be sure. You never know what happens. Or were you told? Were you let in on the plan, man? I don't know, but we've conspiracy theoried a lot.
Yeah. Where are we going next, King? Where are we going next? I lost my camera.
You lost your camera again. All right,
No,
we got the greatest motivational talk, and then we'll play be or not be.
I'm not going to play your motivational talk, King.
No. Oh. Why not? Oh, we got punked out. All right. Well, I think I know why.
The King has provided me some bouncing cleavage video, which I am above. I am a little bit above playing live to all my dozen viewers here. They do not shield your eyes. I know you are all.
It's the
you're all better
message
than
of
that.
this video that counts.
Well, the be or not the be, it is. Let's do the be or not the be.
All
guys.
right. Be or not be. This is a participation sport. Everyone in the chat, we have like quintupled, I don't know, our viewership since the beginning of the show. Started off slow because AP has got a bunch of the regulars out in DC right now, but we built up a good little crowd tonight, so I appreciate everyone joining in. If you're joining in new, this is the Liberty Tonight show where freedom never sleeps. I am your host, King Libertarian, and this is Brian Piotr. We're on the For Liberty Network. And if you're looking on X right now, come over to rumble.com/Liberty Tonight and visit us here in the chat. We got a good crew here. We got some people in the chat: Fiery Waco, C. Don Garoth, Melody P. I wonder who that is. Fiery Waco, Nelson65 have all been chatting with us tonight. We'd love to hear from you too. So we do a lot of segments, a lot of skits. Earlier we had busty nuggets from the scene down there at the federal facility where the lovely God's children MS-13 are being held and being deported. We went over headlines, conspiracy corner we just got done with, and now we're about to play Be or Not Be. This is for everyone in the chat. If you're not in the chat yet, jump in. I'm going to read 4 headlines. They could all be true. They could all be false. They could be a mix of in between. And it's your job to say if it's true or false, be or not be. Brian Piotr does not know the answers to his questions, so he will be playing too. If I fool you, I am going to laugh because I am a jester king. But if you do not get fooled, I will be very angry. So I try very hard to trick you. So get ready, everybody. Be or not be. Number 1 headline. Hundreds of UK tourists flock to abandoned sofa as it becomes the village's biggest tourist attraction. Is that true or false? Be or not be? Are people in Britain fascinated by an abandoned sofa? Are you right, Brian? What do you think?
I just don't think you are creative enough to write such a ridiculous headline. I think that this is true.
All right. I am not creative enough to put such detail into my fake headlines that I write. Fire Waco says true as well. Brian Piotr's true. Last chance, anyone in the chat? True. Yes, this is true. An abandoned sofa in a remote UK village has become a viral tourist spot after hundreds visit it, sparking a social media post. All right.
The Brits.
That was true. Number 2, be or not be. True or false? World's oldest person says key to longevity is eating chocolate every day. True or false? What do you say, chat? Fire Waco,
Guys,
Garoth,
it's important that we believe this is true.
Nelson
It doesn't matter if
65.
it really is.
World's oldest person says key to longevity is eating chocolate every day. Is this true or false, Brian?
Yeah, what if the key to longevity is being delusional? And they like it works. If that's really the truth, it's like I think chocolate's keeping me alive.
Yeah.
Believing that is probably what's keeping them alive.
Okay. Fire Waco says
we all
true.
need to do
Rose
that.
says true. What do you say, Brian?
Sure. True.
All right. Yes, this is true. The oldest living person, a French nun, credits her longevity to daily chocolate consumption and a positive attitude.
Hey, CS
for the Lord.
Garoth says the Nepali coast is a sight to behold. I want to do the backpacking trip on the Nepali coast, western side of Kauai. We need to do the Liberty Tonight trip. Let's all
Yes.
crowd. Let's all go. Let's go,
Let's tear up the island together.
AP's
I'll host
going
you
to
as your
DC.
king.
AP's going to DC and doing a tour like Mount Vernon and stuff. We're gonna go do a backpacking trip on Kauai.
Let's go.
And we're gonna stop by and see Zuck.
Yes.
Knock
We're
on
gonna
his
do Man on
door.
the Street.
We're gonna go see his ranch and the little tunnel that's not really much, just a small little tunnel.
Small addition.
And we're just neighbors.
10,000 square feet underground. It's
We're just
fine.
neighbors stopping by to say hi and ask for a cup of milk or sugar or whatever it is that robots or lizards eat.
He does look like a robot that put a lizard skin on, and then that lizard skin put a human on.
That's what happened.
That's definitely what happened. All right,
Okay.
be or not be. This is the third story here. You tell me if it's true or false. White House source reveals plans being discussed to replace traffic lights with roundabouts across the country to ease traffic issues. Is this a rumored plan coming from the White House that they want to replace traffic lights with roundabouts across the country?
Mm-mm.
What do you say, chat?
Nope.
Ryan, think this is true, false?
My wife Melody P is saying we should ask Zuckerberg for chocolate.
With longevity, I do eat chocolate on a daily basis, so I'm getting there. Growth says, please be false. You don't like roundabouts? If roundabouts are successfully executed, they're beautiful intersections. What do you think, Brian?
I think that they use way too much acreage to accomplish the task. I think they're a waste of space.
Yeah.
They cost a lot of money and they take up a lot of space. So they're the worst solution.
Okay. All right. Well, the Europeans, I guess, would beg to differ.
Hey, we're getting AI cars soon. We can have basically blind T intersections and have the AI cars drive through them safely like the Jetsons. We just bail on the lights. We don't need no lights. We just have the robots drive. So you're just going like 70 miles an hour at the intersection and you go vroom, vroom. You go right by
Just
each
do an
other.
instant stop and just turn into goo inside the car.
No need to stop. You go slightly faster, they go slightly slower from a long distance away.
It'll be like a zipper. No one will. No, when AI, you're right. When AI self-driving gets to a point, there will be no stops. You'll continue on at this. You get on the highway, you go a little bit faster, maybe get off, but you won't ever stop because you're triangulating every other car at any other given moment, and it's spacing you all out and timing it all to never hit. There will be no more collisions. There'll be no more traffic, and you won't ever have to stop because, like you said, there won't be any more intersections. It'll just be cars just zipping by each other perfectly.
Here's the crazy thing that doesn't exist yet is like AI motorcycles, like Fire Waco's talking about, where they're driving, but you get to sit on the ride.
Yeah.
You don't get to drive, but you can be out in the air without your helmet on and feel pretty safe that someone's not looking at their phone and they're just going to end your life. So that'll be a plus.
Yeah. All right. Well, the story that I mentioned about the roundabouts, that it is false.
Yay!
That is not being discussed at the White House currently, but it sounded like maybe that's something that was being floated around.
Could be a secret.
Last story, true or false? California lawmakers propose avocado tax to fund free guacamole for all public schools in California. Is this true or false? Are they trying to add guacamole to the free school lunch by taxing avocados?
It's a joke, but it's probably true.
It's Colorado, or it's California. I mean, Colorado too.
California's
what do you guys say in the chat?
Got nothing but bad ideas. So this is legit. This is probably happening.
All right, Brian says true. What do you guys say in the chat?
No.
Is there avocado tax to fund free guacamole for all the children?
It's probably free guacamole for illegals.
That probably would have been a better headline because it is false.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, made that one up.
I don't know why I hit the whip. I love the whip.
All right.
I ride the
call
whip.
it a draw. All right, that was B or not B. Thank you so much for everyone in the chat for playing.
Thank you, King, for putting together a fantastic game, like always. Now, if I get back in the driver's seat for 1 second.
So I'm not coming home. I miss.
Why does it talk like that?
Oh. Sorry.
I had an idea for a tearless way to tell a child that their pet has died. The concept was to make a video of the pet while it's still alive, telling the child it's in animal heaven now. I hired the only voice actor that responded to my Craigslist ad to be the dog.
Oh, it's me, Maddie. I'm in heaven now.
So sorry I died. I miss you so much.
I'm happy here, so I'm not coming home. I miss.
Why does it talk like that?
It's okay.
He hated his dog.
I'm sorry. I screwed it up a little bit for everybody, but this video really hits me hard.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I'm surprised it doesn't actually exist, to be honest. It probably does in some degree. I'm gonna guess.
Mm-hmm. So that was our transition video. The next thing is coming up. It's gonna be the Culture Couch
intro.
Now, I'm not a woman, and that's pretty obvious. I know that it's not always obvious, but in any case, there's a lot of disagreement on the internet saying that the before picture versus the after picture, which one looks better? Women are saying after, and apparently men think it should be before. I don't know. I think the after looks better, but I am not attracted to either one of them. So...
Yeah, so this, like you said, and this is now at 86 million views. So this was a big controversy, and that's why I wanted to bring it up here on the Culture Couch for us to discuss. It was twofold. It was the caption that was assuming that women that were replying to this were lying. So people got all bent out of shape about that. Like, we're not lying. Yeah, this is why the first one was better, and because... yeah, I can snuggle him better, and he looks more like a bear than like all these very womanly answers, and then all the guys are like, oh, dude's shredded, like you want to look fit, but then that, the debate over which one looks better or not, Where is this divide coming from? What do you think, Brian? You thought the second one was better?
Dude, I think that a more fit person always looks better. But I'm a guy. Like, obviously, I just think that it shows more dedication and being healthier, and he's gonna look better because he worked out. He's gonna look better when he's 90. Assuming, he doesn't stop. So I don't know.
That's the men's culture versus the women's culture. I don't know. We gotta live with each other somehow. But
Let's ask all the women in the
it-
chat. I just I think it's just my wife. So
Ghost ride the whip. Yeah, there you go. I'm with you.
next up in the culture couch, occupied Michigan. So yeah, Michigan used to be a nice place. It is no longer. It's basically Palestine now.
Yeah, I'm all for like America being a place where you can practice your religion freely, but there's also clearly very militant versions of Islam.
No, I
that
know you.
it's
I don't. I think you should have the freedom of speech and the freedom of religion, but not this.
what's the as a constitutional lawyer, Brian Piotr, what is the line in the First Amendment that we have to draw here? What are they doing specifically that makes it no longer free speech?
I mean, I would just like to get rid of the public roads and the public space, and then we don't have this public problem. It's the tragedy of the commons issue, right?
Right.
We have ruined a public thing with somebody taking it over when it's not obviously theirs, but it was a public space, and now they've ruined it. And so now we have all paid in taxes for somebody else to come have a religious experience on our behalf. That's the problem. If this is in their mosque that they paid for on their property, fine. So be it.
I I don't know what those flags are saying. I don't know what's scribbled in Arabic there. But like the black flags with the fire and the black flags with the blades and the red flags with the symbols, and like you guys in pickup trucks together with masks on is already not a good image in my mind.
It's very anti like
it looks very threatening. Like it doesn't like you like the most threatening Christians you really get are like they're standing outside of abortion clinics and like sometimes they get all crazy, but most of the time they're just praying. Like,
well, let's just say that American Christians are American and they have American culture, which the original thought was that we were going to let people into America to join our culture, that they would become American.
Yeah.
And anytime a culture comes in here and then stays the place they came from and left, it rubs us all the wrong way. And the reason why the left is like bring everybody in is because they don't personally feel American. So because they don't feel American at all, they don't care that other people come in that aren't American.
Right.
And
they want to see what's here currently be dismantled.
Yeah.
They're just too stupid to realize that what's going to replace it is going to be so much worse. And at least, even if they're miserable here, they're alive. Whereas the minute these people get in charge, they're getting thrown off a freaking building.
I mean, look, I think that women should have the right to walk around and drive and, do things without their husband present.
Not wear a beekeeper suit because they're forced to.
not be forced to wear a bed sheet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our goats should feel free to roam around and eat grass without being a little bit afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for moderate, whatever you want to believe. Like there's an aspect of like threatening nature. Like I don't necessarily like the KKK and whatever like that, but yeah, there's a level of what you believe being openly displayed as being threatening. Like I don't know. There's a lot of free speech absolutists that I get that portion of it, but oof, like the fact that like they're how many of these people that are marching right now are first of all Native Americans, like born here and raised in the culture, and then I don't know about all that. But before we get to the next clip, because it's kind of a long one, it's Libertarian Jesus or Libertarian Pastor. I did want to bring this up. See Don Growth. Where's the
in a
clip from the
foreign
chick in
country.
Minnesota dropping the hard R's at the kid at the playground? Did you see that, Brian? I didn't put it in because
I did see it.
I really didn't want that on the stream.
No, I
It's
don't.
like,
I
you
don't
know,
want that. I don't want that on our stream either. But this very unpleasant experience happened, and then it was videotaped and put on the internet, and it's just unfortunate. You know, this one
what do you
lady's
think about it?
yelling.
We don't have to mention the what was being said. but
I'm not going to. But this one lady is yelling slurs because this young black kid was trying to steal something, and all of this is conjecture, right? And it got videotaped and put on the internet, and then someone created a GoFundMe, and she's got like over $100,000 raised for her so far.
I think it was her.
Well,
the name on it is
anyways, whoever's giving her maybe she made the GoFundMe, but she's being doxxed by one side, who people are out to get her, and the other side is like, send her money, and she's got $100,000 already raised. It's like,
yeah, I saw something. I didn't get it verified, but somebody was claiming that the man filming was a Somali person, but that also they were like a sex offender. So it's like, like, why is a sex offender here alone at a playground with an unaccompanied 5-year-old or whatever it was? Like, yeah, so supposedly this kid, 5-year-old, has autism, was digging through this woman's bag. She dropped some hard R's. The guy came over, turned his camera on, dropped a few more, flipped them off, and yeah. So, you know, I don't know what this lady's been having to deal with living in Michigan or Minnesota, wherever she is. And she's clearly not American either. She had some kind of accent. She looks like Nordic or Eastern European or something, but beautiful blonde woman with some tattoos. Rare. Yeah, you know, if it's just in a vacuum, I'm at a playground with my child and I see a young child digging through my bag, my first reaction is not going to be to call him a racial slur. So, like, I think that's part of this culture couch, discussion here.
You
Like,
get there, you get there baby steps, but like it's not overnight.
Something had to have been going on. She didn't just flip out on this kid for no reason.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Right. So,
but
yeah.
Moving on, like the totally other side of like the kind of church that we could be going to.
That never attacked us, huh? What were they doing over there? Invading a foreign country. I don't believe in that. Who here believes the official version on 9/11? Look around. Look around the room. Are you looking around? Look around.
Wake up.
Who believes the official story on 9/11? Okay, who believes 9/11 was an inside job? Yes. Look around. Now, you told us before the service that God led you here. Maybe this is what God wanted you to find out, that 9/11 was a fraud, and that our country actually has the satanic world government located in New York. It's called the United Nations. And our country is taking over the whole world for Satan and Israel. Okay, that's what's really going on. You know, and honestly, and I look,
Brian,
honestly,
I'm here.
I'm sure that a lot of troops over there had their heart in the.
Your video's frozen. Oh, now you're back.
Had a little bit of a glitch there. Am I back?
That's okay. I was just listening to this pastor and wondering where his church is.
Yeah, I know,
This is a
right?
pretty
I
sweet
see
pastor.
now on the stream. I was frozen midpoint.
Yeah, dude. It's been a rough night for the stream. Cameras going out, Zoom freezing, but
right place, and they think they're fighting for America and for freedom,
Preach
and they're
it, brother.
fighting for good things. But I'm sorry, it's wrong. And you know what? They tell the troops like, "Oh, we need to go fight these horrible Muslims because they put homosexuals to death." Is that what they told you? Yeah, so that we can bring faggotry to the Middle East. Let's bring all the faggots to the Middle East so they can all be like Tel Aviv. Look, the bottom line is, my friends, I am not pro-war, and I'm never going to be pro-war, and the Bible is not a pro-war book.
I think they call
and
that
this
based on X.
aggressive, we're going to take over the world and put a military base in every country is not biblical, and I want nothing to do with it, and I believe in self-defense, and I believe in defending.
this is me. Those are my beliefs. That pastor gets it.
Jesus and all of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where is his church? I would love to.
Love your
to put some cash in his donation bucket.
Jesus said something about love your neighbor, not bomb your neighbor. Right?
That's right. Let God sort out the good and the bad. All right. Give it up for Jesus. Let's go. Let's go.
I think that we're. Do I need a cut from Culture Couch now? I can't remember, guys. Oh, guys, be like that. No, we're still on Culture Couch.
Yeah. No, we got a couple more.
Guys, is this true?
Yeah. Oh, that's guy culture right there. And you know, there was a company, I think it was on Shark Tank. They sold urinal linings with a picture of a fly on it.
Yeah.
For this specific reason. Like
I've
they studied it and they found that it increased the amount of urine that actually went into the urinal by like some crazy number just because we had something to aim at. We are simple creatures.
Yeah, and then when you got methylene blue, these bullets are blue.
That's right. That's right. I mean, mine aren't normally hot red like that. I think they call that gonorrhea.
You see a doctor if that happens.
Yeah, if your piss is coming out red hot like that, take some methylene blue. It'll cool it down.
Okay, and then I pulled this clip earlier when I saw it on Tucker. I went and found this clip because I watched this whole interview with Matt Walsh. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the words in his mouth that we're all thinking. Lindsey Graham is faggot.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that like a huge percentage of war-crazed Republican senators are secretly gay? What is that?
Are they?
This is so out of
like what is
this is so out of nowhere too in the conversation. Like it's not on topic. And Tucker just pulls this question out there.
And Matt's like, "Are they?" Like I wasn't. You tell me. Yeah. He's like, so confused.
Like Tucker's the most famous Republican or whatever he is in the entire world. Like my dad and every boomer loves Tucker, and I do too. Yeah. Like Tucker's super, super famous. And he's just calling out Lindsey Graham without saying his name right here.
Yeah. I mean, he's not the only one. I mean, you know, the intern in the Senate chamber, he learned it from somebody. Like,
he may have learned it from Lindsey.
There's parties.
So, like, Lindsey speaks like he is that way, and
right,
he's the most blatantly war-loving guy there. So,
right.
I mean, who else?
Have you noticed that like a huge percentage of war-crazed Republican senators are secretly gay? What is that?
I wonder who else is on the list that because he has senators.
Yeah.
Should we cross off potential future interviews here? Just say like Tom Cotton.
I could see him.
Yeah, I don't know who are the crazed.
Just show me a picture of each one and. I could probably nail it.
Guys, who in the chat? Who's on the list of secretly closeted Republicans?
I don't even know who
are they?
Rick Scott is one
like what is
Florida senator, right? He probably definitely
what is the connection between
which are the ones that are secretly gay?
I don't know, the ones who are secret about it. But there is some kind of I guess all I'm saying, I'm not being catty, I'm trying not to be catty or cruel or whatever. But I do think there's a connection to the way that you live at home, connection between the way you live at home and like the policies that you espouse and the impulses.
Something about bombing other countries and being with guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys, is this true? I don't know. I've got absolutely nothing like I think it's wrong to be gay, but you shouldn't go to jail for it, you know? Like, but I think this is a hilarious. I think this is a hilarious insult. Like, the way that Tucker does this is freaking hilarious. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in a very Tucker way. Yeah, it's classic Tucker where he's throwing it out there, and everyone who knows, he knows everyone that he knows is going to know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, and I think Matt Walsh, to a degree, knows, because just by his reaction, he just was like just so shocked that he just randomly brought this up, kind of caught him off guard.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Moving on the culture couch. Why are men so dirty? Why are men so dirty, everyone?
Really break you down and test your patience. I don't know how many times I've told him the toothbrush goes in the toothbrush holder.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, man.
Fellas, am I right?
Guys,
Am
why
I
are we
right?
so dirty? Why are we so dirty? You know, I'm the first to admit it. I'm dirty, guys. I don't pick up after myself enough, and I don't put away my toothbrush and stuff. So,
Is Melody constantly cleaning behind you?
I don't know. Don't look behind myself.
That's where Satan is. Get behind me, Satan, and my trail of destruction that my wife has to pick up.
Don't know. Don't know. I'm not aware of what's
never
behind
look
me.
Back. Ever.
Never look back. Never surrender. Melody said you heard it here first. Okay. I'm trying to see if I've got more cutscenes. Am I all done with the cutscenes for tonight? What comes after Culture Couch?
It's
America the Beautiful. Okay.
We got to transition.
We got this video before America the Beautiful.
Dude, what is up with that neck? What is that?
The guillotine. The guillotine's worst nightmare. Dude built like he could survive any car wreck. That's The Rock's cousin mudslide. Dude, he has quite a neck. That is quite the neck.
Yes, it is impressive. Mike Tyson could only dream of having such a broad head holder. Well, that was the Culture Couch. We're coming up on America the Beautiful, but we have about 7-8 minutes left. So we're going to walk through some America the Beautiful. America the Beautiful. It's a beautiful place, beautiful people, and we're going to show you a little bit of that on the way out. But at the very end, while we're doing America Beautiful, I'm going to think about who's the president of the week. So we'll do that last. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is Liberty Tonight, where freedom never sleeps. We crawled out of the trenches. We came back from adversity, and we got a good crowd going, raised a couple of bucks. Thank you, everyone who donated. Fiery Waco and Nelson, I believe, were the ones. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And, yeah, follow us on X. Give us a like. Give us a follow. You go to the forlibertyshop.com and search Liberty Tonight in the search bar up there at the top. You'll come up with our exclusive collection. The coffee is something that people have been really enjoying. So get some of that coffee tonight.
Thank you for those who have already purchased some and subscribed.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Who wants
in America the Beautiful?
Yeah, who wants to get fired from or find out that they failed a class like this?
You all voted to know your grades before the semester's over. I'm just making it more fun. Please stand up if your last name is Mortensen, McKellen, Wood, Aston, Lee, and Bloom. You shall not pass! Everybody else, you got a C- or higher. Have a great summer.
The rest of you.
The rest of you.
Have a great summer. But you that stood up, shame them on the way out.
You guys didn't pass the class. Aha.
When you were going through school, were any of your grades like super public like this? Like
Dude,
mine were always
they
like
wouldn't even say our names. They'd be last name, last letter, R. They wouldn't say the last name for privacy reasons. Like this, it was ridiculous.
No, it wasn't like even in like these movies where like like so if it was like a quiz or something, sometimes like pass your quiz around, like pass it down, like you would see the grade of like the person that you're gonna hand the paper back to, right? The person behind you.
So
But otherwise, like this is really strange. I've never seen public failings.
The worst part about engineering is that you'd get a grade and it would be like 32. And you're like, is this an A or an F? And you'd have to wait for the curve. Like you get handed your results and it would say like 40%. And you'd be like,
ouch.
Don't know what this means. Curve comes up. Oh, I got a C. Sweet. Like it was phase 1. This could be really good or really bad. I don't know. And then the curve gets put up and you're like, oh, okay, great. This is fantastic.
So basically, it takes the highest grade and then brings it up to an A, and then it brings everyone else's grade up by the same margin. Is that essentially what the curve is?
It can be that way, but a teacher can also statistically make the curve like the mean. So if the average is
she'll just make a certain percentage of them be A's, a small percent, and then have the bell curve. Where most are B's
most
or
of the
C's.
time it's the first way. The teacher would say the highest grade is the top grade, and that's an A.
So engineering was that hard that
Like
'cause
all the
I rarely
classes.
got curved on my shit.
There was like one class where there wasn't a curve. The rest of the time, there was a class where I got like a 38% and the average was 36 on the final.
Why are they even asking these questions then? Like,
I'd say that that's a reflection of the teacher not teaching
Right.
or not testing correctly. A combination of them failing. The professor failed.
They
When-
probably don't write new tests.
In fact, I had a class where somebody got an 85 and the teacher held back everyone's grades and accused them of cheating because he got an 85. Like, there's no way you got an 85. You cheated.
You engineers
And
are
held back
weird.
everybody's grade for like 2 weeks. And then ultimately gave everyone their grades. But like, yeah. Engineering school was stupid.
Yeah,
And
you guys are weird.
sorry. This is where liberty
Look at
never
the place
sleeps,
where
guys.
You already know where menus are been?
Yeah, I got
Why are
it.
they wearing
I'll be back to check on you bitches, okay?
Hash browns, bitch. Thank you. Thanks, bitch.
Of course. Let me go put this in for you bitches, and she's making the coffee for you guys, okay?
Go to this restaurant.
I submitted a franchise plan.
Entrepreneurship right here. Make a restaurant where the employees have to call you a bitch. That's what makes America beautiful. It's like those restaurants, Dicks. Have you ever been to one of those where they have to be rude to you? It's
Yeah.
fun to be harassed
mean,
and have a meal, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a million versions of this. Like the seafood restaurants where they draw a plate on a piece of paper and then pour the bucket. Or like it's just like we have a novelty. This is a novelty restaurant. You won't be
Right.
coming back here every Tuesday with your friends. This is who wants to go to this crazy place.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we got 2 minutes left in the broadcast. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us tonight. We had a lot of fun. We built up a good little following here, not even with a lot of the audience in DC with Austin. So appreciate everyone that was joining us tonight. I'm going to
you so
do
much.
Peasant of the Week. So I think this week's Peasant of the Week was very clear. This is a person that just totally crushed it on every front, was just slam dunking on the New World Order and against the deep state, and that is RFK Jr. Coming out saying chemtrails are real. Not only they're real, they're coming through the jet fuel, and it's being done by DARPA. So he admitted that it's real, that the government's doing it, and they're putting it in the jet fuel. Crazy. And then the whole thing, and I think I put it in there, but it didn't get in there. But he also revealed that the HHS essentially was the one trafficking these children around. And when Mayorkas said it's not us, he was technically right. It wasn't Department of Homeland Security. The programs were being run through HHS under the other Xavier guy. So, man, a lot to take in. But RFK dropping receipts, and then Tulsi's going to come in with the receipts. They're teaming up to unearth this ungodly, just demonic and just horrible things that have been happening to us. So, yay. RFK Jr. is President of the Week. All right, take us out, Brian. Woo!
Guys, before you go, I just want you to know I found the secret.
I'm going to tell you where to meet high-quality, attractive women in 2024 in less than a minute.
You don't need to be meeting women. You need to be meeting dudes because your army needs soldiers. Spring is here, which means the mountain passes, they're beginning to thaw. Your enemies are about to march onto your land. You're out here trying to meet girls.
Guys, this is Liberty Tonight, where freedom never sleeps. I'm going to get cameras fixed and Zoom working well. Thank you so much for your Rumble rants. Share the show with your friends. Emails, text, share this show. I want to see
they're
some
probably
new
not even
friends in our
halfway
Rumble
full.
chat next
You're out here
week.
trying to meet girls.
I hope you have a fantastic weekend, each and every one of you. Until next time, guys, we will talk to you later.